Well, hello, good people of Earth. It's Chris Derschmidt. I haven't seen you for a while. Hope you're all doing much better than me. I am here to give you an update, and we need to stop the targeting of human beings altogether. I'm here again to go over my information for me and millions of other targeted individuals around the United States and around the world now. I'm going to show you some of my evidence, the most important pages. I've now am learning to use Zoom so I can share screen and show you. But as I said from my other videos, I showed every page of my doctor and private investigator. It also includes special specialists that specialize in nanotechnology, human frequency, interaction, memes, nanobots, all of which they have forced on me, and biomarkers into my body illegally with airplanes. My food was found poisoned. My supplements were found poisoned. There was cameras that were inserted into the middle section of my table clock that I had plugged into an outlet, all to watch me be tortured and killed, sexually harassed. Everywhere I go, I've been fired from jobs. I've been trespassed out of grocery stores in Chandler, Arizona, and throughout the Phoenix market. I've recently been evicted because they had the neighbors above me banging and booming everywhere I go in my house, following me from room to room and then stomping on the floor. Sorry, my throat's getting hoarse again. We need to come together, and this isn't just a spiritual war. This is a physical war, and we need to fight it with physicalness. We need to get these people out of office once and for all. Stop the private Federal Reserve. We'll stop a lot of it. If all states go independent, we can get rid of these federal narcissistic tortures that do pedophilia. Most of their work is in drug-related illegal drugs being trafficked, and they only put into jail a few of the users now and then. I first of all want to start out this video too with a disclaimer. All of the information in this video is alleged and is to be used for information purposes only. With that being said, I want to continue to give you my evidence, tell you what we can do. And if you don't stop it, we're already all infected because they've been spraying over 30 years. This is called smart dust. It's will form a network in your body. It gets into your body from the first part of this horrible multi-layered things that they are spraying onto us. Is a fungus base, a black fungus that's military grade, that even if you try to detox, you will not be able to, because it's in nanobot military size, compression, and strength. So I'm trying to put it into simple terms when people say they do not understand. I'm also going to show you now as well. Is there any chat here? I wanted to see if anybody's on chat. Want to make sure I open that up. I'm just recording right now, I think, so I'm not on YouTube yet. And I'm going to start the share screen because I want to show you some of the many things that they're doing to me. Right here it says, I hope this is share screening now with this page. I hope you can see this. And this is signed by my doctor, Dr. Hildegard Staninger. It shows that all of these were injected to me through smart dust and through poisoning coming into my house when I'm not home. They specifically love to target single females. I was at the height of my prime in my work years, 40 years. I'm now 62. When I was targeted, it was 201. So I do believe they're using the US Patriot Act and the National Security Act for some heinous, illegal reason to torture normal human beings, especially highly educated single white females like me. And they make it quite easy so that when I leave, they come in and poison my food. They killed my cats. They had neighbors kill my cats. They follow me everywhere I go. But this is proof. It says neural dust, smart dust, nano CMOS materials. If you should have any questions, feel free to contact me and discuss the toxicity issues in more detail. Note, her toxicity is for metals, particulates, polymers, which are like plastic, and biological things such as measles, Legionella, and it lists all the things right here. And that's just some of them, the effects, how it affected me, and some of the things. And it even proves right here that they poisoned me with arsenic. Toxic effects of barium. Barium is a heavy metal and chemical because it has many parts to barium if you go look it up. Ammonia metabolic disorders. And these are just a few. It says, and her cells cannot release the toxins fast enough and absorb the cellular nutrients due to her genetic mutations, which are very similar to the symptoms of Lee's disease or Lee's legion. Down here it says she has metabolic disorder, in which the only way I could get nutrition would be through substantial nutrient IV therapy, which I was never allowed to get when you're only on disability. Many of the people that have had this done to them are dead. So that is why I'm asking for your help, that I need an attorney. I need an attorney group that will take my case. And let me see, I want to share screen again. Hopefully this page is coming through. I'll enlarge it. This was the initial page. And I am Chris Derschmidt here. Reports and laboratory test results were evaluated for specific exposure to advanced nanomaterials, nano CMOs, micro bivores, micro catalomers, memes, things I can't even pronounce. The most important part, the specific details contained in each of the reports referenced above, which were utilized to generate these reports, are to be reviewed in the entirety and then apply their findings to this report for a comprehensive whole aspect of the applications utilized as applied to advanced computer applications to nanotechnology under SCADA, telemetry, frequency signals, and their application to the person, Miss Chris Derschmidt. So this was my address when it started. I got my evidence June 19th, 2014. That was my phone number. And this proves that I am not making any of this stuff up. It's directly from initial frequency reports from Dr. Hildegard Staninger. Here's her address and telephone number and fax right down here. Here's her cell phone number, excuse me, her website. So if you want to contact her, I'm still seeking and need an attorney. I've been very sick from all of these nanomaterials put in me, and then they harassed me to death. I'm trying to share screen again with some other things. Oh, I hope I'm doing all this right. So I quit sharing that part, but I'm going to share some more. A lot of people have been asking me, excuse me, how do I believe you? How do I show, how does the ordinary person help out? I put in your search box and use DuckDuckGo, it's private, or any other private one. Put in diagram of electronic torture of target individuals. And then it will pull up all kinds of information to show how they do it. Here's one of them. So they have all types of people. Right here, it even shows the ambulances track you. There's nurses watching, or doctors, medical emergency, game service. This is how sick it is. What is electronic harassment? You go to Citizens, SAHT.org. What is electronic harassment? This is premeditated murder. It's torture, it's death. This shows the diagram and all about it, how they target every part of my body and other target individuals, how it goes to another cell phone that the gang stalkers use, and the police and the sheriff. And yes, all the police and all the sheriffs are involved. Sean Atwood, pick up on this. Simon Parks, Parkes. This isn't just a spiritual war. This is a physical war. And we need to fight it with physicalness by stopping, shielding, getting attorneys to take our case, and getting these murders out of the Senate, out of the House of Representatives, out of our presidency. Joe Biden, our president, is highly knows about this, is highly involved, and has never even bothered to mention it, let alone stop it. And they're getting more and more victims on this. We're all infested with nanobots. Maybe that will wake you up to study this. Kids, high schools, do reports on this. Write your congressman, and when they don't respond, because they won't, you need to pull them out of office. We're allowed. We are the citizens that rule the United States. They are to be working as our public servants instead of killing us. There's no more precious commodity than children and women. Look, it even goes to ambulances, and all they have to do is call you mentally ill. That's what they're doing. They're going to tell the game stalkers I'm mentally ill and I deserve to be tortured. This is un-American. It's unconstitutional. It's against the law. It's personal injury. It's illegal devices. Look up attorneys for medical devices that take on medical malpractice with illegal medical devices. It pulls up a lot of the attorneys, yet none of them have taken my case yet. That's how heinous it is. And let me go on to some other pages. I've contacted this guy. He's a lawyer for illegal medical device malpractice. have not heard back yet, but I just contacted him today. I'm the only one. But for 20 years of different types of torture, it would be tough for any one lawyer. I've contacted the Clifford Law. Injury overview, here it is. This area of law allows any personal injury by any injured person to sue in a private action called a civil action, known in the legal community as a tort. A tort is a wrongdoing against a person. It doesn't say it has to be a certain kind. It can be with advanced technology. This is called emerging technologies. It's actually old. They've been doing it over 20 years just to me. And we all have it in us, so it should wake you up. I'm asking the legal colleges. There's a legal college in almost every university, especially the University of Minnesota that claims to have the biggest legal law clinic in the country. They're bragging about that, yet they won't take my case. I've called them repeatedly. I've called the head of the Minnesota State Bar. He laughed in my face and said, I must deserve everything I'm getting. Ha ha. He only had 2 personal injury referrals, and then he called back and said they won't take my case. You can look up these things yourself. I'm giving you these links to go to. I've called her with no word back. She's taken on a case of freedom of speech, but yet being tortured to death is premeditated murder and personal injury and medical malpractice. The extreme violation of privacy. There's no higher case that the US Supreme Court should take. And I not only filed charges against the city of Chandler, Arizona, where it started, and I lived for 20 years, and I'm trying to move back there, but they brainwashed me into moving up here thinking there was going to be a pole shift, which never happened. But I've contacted the local ACLU when I lived in Chandler, Arizona, and when I lived here in Russell, Minnesota, which would be the Minnesota ACLU. You have to file an application online. And then when I followed up a month later, they said, we don't have to contact, and we can't, we're too overwhelmed. But yet they take cases on free speech. When people are being tortured to death, they won't take those cases. And they especially don't take any cases against white people. They took one case that was a Guadalajara, Gitmo, they call it for short, up in Washington State. The ACLU took that case, and he wasn't even a citizen. He was a somewhere from the Middle East, and he was tortured in Gitmo. I think he was a green card holder. I've contacted her though. She's taken free speech cases, and here we are being tortured. And so far, nobody has bothered to take our cases or respond to us. And every person out there has nanotechnology in them. Maybe that will concern you. It should. If it doesn't, let me go on to some of my next points. Here is the case that this Elda, she's at the head ACLU, which I've contacted several times. There's her name, ACLU lawyer, Vera Eldman. I have left her some messages today, but I just heard about her. She has taken this free speech case that's important, and it was recent. It's just June 3rd, 2021, which is just days ago that this was posted. It's ongoing law speech against a cheerleader who had said the F word about cheerleading in the school, a couple other comments outside of school, nowhere close to school or on school property, yet she was kicked off cheerleading for a year. Now, is that more important, or do you think someone that's been tortured multiple ways for 20 years plus, 21 years and counting, with no end and stop to the current date, me, which is premeditated murder. I'm sick all the time. I'm feeling worn down continually. I still have some sores on my body, a few, mainly just on my face. And no lawyers will take my case. I'm asking all legal schools across the country, put this on your screens. Have your professors show this. All of you have nanotechnology and forms a network throughout your entire body with biomarkers, because they've been spraying us for 30 years at least. You got to stop these evil CIA, FBI, other government officials know, but they know how to detox for themselves. If you have the right microscope, you'll be able to see it in your own blood, prick your own blood. And if you have like a 300 plus magnifying microscope, or go to your college and say, I want to use yours for free. We have a free one at the Southwestern Minnesota State. And they gave all the kids cell phone application to look through the lens in my eye when I was naked in the dressing room and trying to work out. Then they kicked me out of being able to work out. Then they had two Middle Eastern people, a girl and a boy, very young, come in and plug in the outlet, this big electronic box. And I was feeling microwaves come down on my head that was utilizing the LED long bar lights. I don't forget what you call them. They look kind of like fluoroscope, but I think they were LED, is how they can retransmit it right into my DNA and all the nanobots they put into me just by taking this box, and they plugged it into the outlet right in front of me. And I just started getting like fried. I could just feel me like the worst sunburn you've ever had going down your body. And I started passing out. So I had to leave the room. And that's what they're doing to me, even at these colleges. On the perpetrator list, if you look at my doctor reports, I'll show you again the perpetrators. The perpetrators are right here. And then it goes to towers that they have the neighbors call in and torture me. But here is all the list of perpetrators. And I'll read them again for you. They are on the list. The entities associated with the technology development and assigned licenses for this. That means they have patents and license. So this is not my imagination. This is 100% accurate. University of Del Porto in Portugal. Key research of University of Del Porto. Professor Jose Antonio Olivier Simones. Department of Defense, USA. Boeing Research Division. Yes, Boeing is another killer, and they don't keep their planes up to date. That's why the electronic wires fry out, and they're refusing. And then they even passed a law they don't have to fix them until the next inspection, when entire planes have gone into the ocean and crashed because the electrical shorting and the departmentalization of the metal comes out and flies off, and people fly out of the plane, the ones that are close to whatever panel comes off. All kinds of things. JPL, all these companies my brother worked for, NASA, Arizona State University, where I graduated from. They don't care even if you're at the top of all these places. They've made me broke and in pain for over 20 years. Again, Arizona State University with Hebrew University, Jerusalem, NIH, and DARPA. DARPA is the biggest murder, hiding under the title DARPA Exotic Weapons Division of the military, killing their own people, not only in the US, throughout the world. Get rid of these departments. They need to be tried in a speedy trial, emergency trial. Within a month, they've been killing us for 30 years. It just goes on and on and on. Are you gonna wake up now and stop it? Turn off your frickin' TVs. Stop gaming, which they want you to not pay attention, while they slowly brainwash you, kill you, and turn you into evil little devils. And they're laughing. They're laughing at you. You're all infested. Will that wake you up and make the US Supreme Court take this case as a precedented case? And I can't get it because I have new evidence since 2014. I can refile it. There's no statute of limitations on premeditated murder, a murder of any kind. And the notice of claim, you always have to file first on any government entity. And you only have 30 days to do it if it's a small injury. But if it's murder, there's no statute of limitations according to the Minnesota notice of claim. Now they're going to try to change this on you again. You're going to wake up now. And I'm asking you to publish this in all the law schools in America. We're being tortured to death. They want you to look up into the sky and have movies about great big alien planes when the enemy is little teeny nanoparticles that have been sprayed all over you. You're breathing it in. It's in your food, in the GMO, and you don't want to wake up. And they're slowly killing people. If they want to limit the population, they do it in a humane fashion by eliminating everybody to only be able to have 2 babies like they do in China. So I hope you've got this message loud and clear. I'm asking all attorneys to contact me again, 480-257-3321, kderschmidt@gmail.com. My name, it says Chris Derschmidt there. My email is kderschmidt@gmail.com. Call me anytime, day or night or weekends or holidays. I've said a lot, and these attorneys that refuse to take these cases, they have to take continuing education. You should require them to take continuing education emergency mandatory meeting on nanotechnology, because they've already been spraying on us, like I said, over 30 years. I've been a victim, known victim, for 20 years. And the people are so evil, my neighbors are laughing why they're killing me. They put a long microwave rod on my telephone pole, and I was just totally getting fried and had to sleep in the bathroom and then move, or I would be dead. Because they don't like it, I'm exposing this. Here's another good site if you want to learn about it. Nano brain implants. Tells about the mission. Don't get into any of these class action lawsuits if you're another TI, because you need to go to the state and the city or the county where they are saying the class action lawsuit is filed. And I'll bet you it's not filed. And they're taking more money from victims. And so are some of these places that claims that they are private investigator. Not Melinda Kidder, but some of the other ones are just charging $3,000 and $4,000, $10,000 when target individuals are so sick they can't work, and then they can't get disability, and they just watch us die a slow death. By the government, it's called a covert soft kill, and they're killing anyone that's upstanding for or protests for, like I was an animal rights protester, anyone that stands up for freedom of speech and other things. So the enemy is a small molecules called smart dust that you don't see. Know this. Study it in school. Make them give you classes on nanotechnology. Here's links to it right down here. It tells all about it. The global consciousness, nano brain implants, and the implant in the eye. All my reports, if you want to see my reports again on my YouTube at K Derschmidt, the January 2020 video shows every page. Some of them turned out kind of yellow, but you can enlarge it. You should be able to read it. Take a screenshot or photo of it, enlarge it. I also have clear copies in paper form. I've showed you the graphs and how to find the graphs. You have everything you need to prosecute these bastards. And the attorneys that refuse to take these cases for 20 years, which is the most precedented important cases in America, being covertly tortured by your own government, it's the most important case around the world. And I have appealed. If you go to the US Supreme Court under archives, look up Christie, K-R-I-S-T-I, Lee, L-E-E, Derschmidt, D-U-R-S-C-H-M-I-D-T, just how it's spelled right over here. You will see that I have filed. You can not only direct appeal, called a writ of certiorari, you can also file a lawsuit directly to the US Supreme Court, which I did, and you'll see in the archives, and you can see how to file a case like mine and use the precedent cases, or you state that this is a precedented case, which means stands new ground. I hope this helps. If you have any further questions so I can cut this short, you can contact me. I've given you all my contact information. Peace out, love, and protect. We need to get the attorneys charged that will not take nanotech. There's a book called Nanotechnology. But isn't it funny? They're not taking any victims. And there's another law firm that refuses. Let's see if I can find it. This is another good site. It's called Tortured in America. Super grunts. The Patriot Act, the systemic misconduct, taking out the trash, dirty tricks, the secret war crime, tortured in America. We're all listed on here too. The only thing I want to tell target individuals, though, do not get into these class action lawsuits that are fake. Unless you can find it, they would have a case number on it. And you call up the court if you can't find on the court's website that it was filed. And even if you do file a motion to intervene, which means you want to be a part of the class action lawsuit on your own, you can file a motion to intervene without any money. You should never have to give them money. They're using you again. These people are saying that they have class action lawsuits for target individual. I've not seen one be true yet. The only case I've ever seen. Also look up Ray Schumann. He did live in Texas, and then he said he filed a case in California. But here's what he's calling it, a co-op for target individuals, but he can't call it co-op officially on the internet or his site because they said he needs to take it down because it's not a real co-op. But he's asking for money again, and so far he's only taken one case that's been dismissed, but he's appealing it up to the district court. I have kudos for him. I've contacted him through his YouTube site under discussions. You can see my posts to him, and he gives out his email. I've contacted him through there, yet he's not even offered to help me with my case either. And this is, even my case will be overwhelming for one lawyer. I've contacted the People's Law Firm. They've refused to call me back. I've gone and knocked on their door repeatedly in Phoenix, Arizona. And there's another People's Law Firm for constitutional rights in the Phoenix area. One was in Tempe. This one is listed at 645 North 4th Street, Suite A, Phoenix, Arizona. They've refused to help too, but I believe they take cases for Blacks. Mainly, I have never seen that they've taken any cases for white people. And the ACLU takes minority cases. I've never seen them take a case for a white person, but there might be a few that I missed. But I'm saying, where is it? Nobody's taken cases for single females. And that's what the white elephant in the middle of the room, the unspoken truth is. There are some men they target, but I've read that it's 80% women they target, single female, highly educated. Maybe it just comes out that way, but this is how sick they are. The other important thing I'm going to leave you with, another tip, because I always give you tidbits of information to help you live. Every military division in every state is doing illegal, covert, undercover, torture, and activity. And a lot of them are underground. And a lot of people know this that are in the know. And I would say about 80 to 90% of society does not know this. In every state, you're letting your military experiment and kill you. And if you look under military laws, they say that they can experiment on a certain percentage of unsuspecting citizens. Yet this does not supersede our civil rights. The Constitution, the civil rights of the country by our forefathers is the highest law of the land. And you need to get attorneys to prove that. Because when I went as a pro se and did everything right, these judges illegally dismissed my case and other target individuals' cases, even though it's considered hardcore evidence that a judge can't dismiss when you have doctor reports and private investigator reports. So there needs to be new laws to fire judges that don't go by law, because they're not going by law. That's enough information today. As you know, I'm dying and very sick, but I try to help other people and give them lots of information that the young kids can take and help us get laws immediately against the attorneys that won't take our cases, against the military who's doing this to us, and the private companies and colleges that are highly involved. 90% and college students are some of the perps. And they're doing it out of fusion centers. It's a small building in Tempe, Arizona that's close to the corner of Rural and Apache. Rural and Apache, it was right next to Wendy's. I heard Wendy's isn't there anymore, but you'll see that very expensive brick that kind of curves around. You know, it's not little bricks. It's the very expensive bricks like all the electric companies have. It's a very small building made out of high quality bricks. You'll see it, white bricks. That's the very pretty, expensive. And that's where these kids go in and get paid to torture other people and gang stalk them. They're teaching you to be Nazis and you don't even know it. Don't let them ever give money to gang stalkers, ordinary citizens, to torture other citizens. They've turned this into Germany Nazi camp, wireless no-touch torture, and you're participating and your neighbors are participating out of fake laws. They need to do their own policing. They are the police. Instead, they're sitting back laughing at these kids that could be charged with murder for gang stalking, and they're too stupid to know it, taking the money. It's really considered taking money to do gang work and be a premeditated murder, and they know it. They all need to be charged as well. Peace out. God love and protect. So I am getting ready to sign out. My battery's getting low anyway. Thank you all for listening. I hope I hear back for some real attorney groups that will take our cases. Peace out.